What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you my Kuwabara deck that I played for the Symbol Showdown Campus Championship. So, for all of us who don't know, what we did for this week's Campus Championship is we took and we said that we could only build off of one symbol, and once that symbol was taken by somebody, that nobody else could play that symbol. So I played this Kuwabara deck under Earth, and so that means no other deck in the tournament had the Earth symbol as their primary symbol. So with that said, if you like the profile, make sure you check out the matches that Kuwabara got to play. It'll be on a playlist here on the channel. Make sure you just look that up. It'll be under Symbol Showdown UniVersus matches. So with that, let's jump into it. All right, so if you guys have not seen one of my deck profiles, basically, as opposed to just reading out the cards verbatim, I want to give you more of a elevator pitch or the idea concept behind the deck. So we're playing Kuwabara under Earth, and primarily he's played underwater because you get an awesome card called Air Ground Smash, which lets you essentially cheat your hand size from being 5 into something major. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to do that same sort of thing, but just really capitalize on the Desperation Enhance smack you with a card from my staging area, using our enhances once per turn to build a thing face down, and then eventually just kind of spirit bomb you, having enough resources. I was building in a deadlock on like turn 3. It was so easy, so simple, and I never feared the deadlock. The only deadlock that I necessarily feared was face of a monster, but that would be something you could test out and see what anti-discard you have under Earth. But anyways, the point of the deck is I want to take and I want to loop a couple of cards that we will get to right now. So, as well as I not having necessarily the need to block because of the response committed foundation before the damage step, don't put it back to printed. Super relevant. All right, so jumping into it, we're playing 4 Deflection Swing. The card says, essentially, be Kuwabara's Desperation Enhance, a little suitor. Enhance at the top card of my deck to my staging area face down, take any face down that I want, and put it back up into my hand. Very, very strong. One of the best plays that you could have is have Deflection Swing, use Kuwabara, build it. Deflection Swing, build one, pick one up, use Kuwabara, after it resolves it, build it down, play another Deflection Swing, pick up this Deflection Swing, play another Deflection Swing. So this card, if you have 2 of them, it turns into 3 of them, and that these draw into extra cards because of building and so on and so forth. So it's super easy to want to commit your face down Deflection Swings and then pick them up with Deflection Swings and then play them again. It's just really, really rad. The use your opponent's enhances on the reversal was not necessary. It was very, very not necessary. I tried to do it one time, but it actually ended up being detrimental. So don't try and use the reversal plan. Honestly, it's just an aggressive card inside of Kuwabara, just because of how much cool stuff we get to flip. I'm gonna fix my framing my shot just a smidge. There we go. Okay, moving on, we're playing 2 Sword Get Longer. This card is just a burst card. I always want to see this on turn 2. I pretty much never want to see it afterwards, just because it's a 6 diff and it's a 6 mid for 6. Yeah, it's not being blocked, but I'm super down to maybe even play it and then pitch it to build an additional face down. This thing basically says build 4 inside of Kuwabara. But besides that, like late game, it doesn't feel good to add in a bunch of committed foundations, unless I've got things like Deflection Swing to pick them back up. On to the main combos of the deck. We're playing 4 Armed Vengeance. I wanted to play this engine just because I enjoy the card Armed Vengeance quite a bit, and the whole combo with the stun, and it builds itself down, and Kuwabara can pick it back up. So let's say that I have a stun attack. Also, thing to note, these the reason I play these cards first is these don't have stun. The rest of my attacks do. So I've played a stun attack. I play the Armed Vengeance. I can use the Kuwabara Enhance if I think they're not going to full block it to then put it down, and if I have another one that's already face down, I can pick that one up with the Desperation and then play it again. So essentially I just want to loop 2 of these back and forth in order to try and make them take, an extra 8 damage for almost no reason. Very, very strong. Stun 2 on a bunch of attacks is very good, and I don't feel bad with it being essentially being played on a 6 because of committing a face down and then picking up with Kuwabara. And it's going to build itself down. I think this is a very underutilized attack in the current meta. If you have stun attacks, printed stun attacks on these 3 symbols, you should definitely be looking into this card as one of your main bread and butter cards. Up next, we're playing Double Cherub Cyclone. This is just to put a bit of a clock on my opponent. A lot of decks want to play throws. I think throws are incredibly good right now. And it says if this attack does less than printed damage, you essentially your next one gets 3 damage and you gain 2 vitality. That's a ton of vitality whenever we're making all of my opponent's attacks printed stats. And the big thing about this is let's say that my opponent does perfect block everything. What I can do is I can play Cyclone, build it down with Kuwabara, and then enhance on my opponent's turn, and then pick it back up, and then play it again, and then build it down, and then pick it back up. And so every single turn, I've got a 4 low or 4 high for 6, because Kuwabara's response works on both my attacks and your attacks. And so I can commit a face down and then put it back to 6 damage if I need to. Up next, we got a big Haymaker card. We're playing 4 Missile Launcher. This card, it's just the powerhouse. It's a workhorse of the deck. Being able to, on turn 2, play a Missile Launcher and then build it out and then say, hey, whenever we're later in the game and you're hopefully at deadlock, I'm going to pick this guy back up. You know there's another Missile Launcher coming for you. Checking these feels real bad in a 5-hander, but if you can find them in your hand, it is such a power move. Going Missile Launcher into Armed Vengeance and then looping more Missile Launchers afterwards, this is so strong with Stun 2, give it speed and damage. Really, really strong stuff. Highly recommend, if you've not picked up a playset of Missile Launcher, do so. One of the best cards in the game. And then my last stun attack, probably my favorite stun attack in the deck, just because of its, sorry the pun, power, is Power Flip. I think this card is insane inside of Kuwabara because of the fact that I get to build it face down and then pick it back up. I've been playing a bunch of decks, and I probably should have been playing it in this deck, where I want to play the card Know Your Power, or Know the Power of the Abyss. The Zasamel action that just says mill 10 and then pick up a reversal. This card is worth it. This card is the best reversal in the game, in my opinion, whenever played under the Earth symbol, just because of the cool combos that I will show you at the end of the video. But yeah, it also has stun 1, so it combos with the card that I want. On to the assets. We're playing Double Omega Sword and Owl Shield. This card is honestly just for extra stats. I want the extra damage. And my Kuwabara deck does not do a ton of blocking, just because of the way that it is currently made. But if you do have to block, this card makes it easier. Speaking of blocking and making it easier, sometimes putting things to printed is not good enough. So making my 1 block of the turn being Omega Sword and Elk Shield is just good enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna make that block happen. Okay, your base 8 damage attack is actually just going to be do 1 damage to me. I don't have to use the ability on Kuwabara. So onto the foundations, and we will get to some cool combo stuff. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the Power Flip just because it's important later. Put it on my character's momentum, just because it's important later. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the cards that I want to. The main reason that I played Kuwabara is because I liked his response, and I wanted to be able to just play a bit of a Wally, some would say lame, Tyler would say lame game, and wall you out and then eventually kill you. And so these cards are going to be the first set of, hey, these cards are really good when they're committed. So we're playing Double Sense of Morals, anti-stun cards. You can't stun Kuwabara, or else I get to just sit here and continuously ready all of my cool stuff and then respond to Kuwabara. Hey, I'll put it back to printed. Sense of Morals already back up. You play another attack? All right, I'll put up back to printed. Already back up. You're not allowed to stun this character whenever Sense of Morals is out on the board, or else, you'll just lose. None of your attacks are going to do anything. We're playing 4 Dark Side of the Dark Side of Karma. Yeah, this card is just super crazy good. It is playable while committed on both abilities. Enhance, flip, put it back to printed speed, and then enhance or response, remove, cancel a non-weapon ability. Playing 1 Venomous. Hey, if you're going to be drawing cards, I can put your thing to printed speed and then printed damage and then pop it and get rid of it. We're playing 1 Endless Determination. This card kind of just says after it would be committed, it readies back up. So it just counts as 2, which is like good enough to be inside of this category. And then once per turn, add 1 of my momentum to my staging area face down. So let's say that I did smack you with the reversal, but I've already used my enhance once per turn. I can just build it down, and then with Kuwabara, I'll get to pick it back up. Very, very solid. And then we're playing Double Hell's Reach. This card just says flip ready at playable while committed. So it is kind of like Endless Determination, except for it is a 0-5 as opposed to a 2-5. It's got a mid block instead of high. Let me play out my build curves a little bit. We're playing 1 enhance, flip, add 1 face down from my staging area to my hand. This card is fine. It is one of the first things that wants to get committed after I've used the opponent's turn, add a face down. So on their first attack, I'll commit and add this, and then enhance on their second attack and pick this up, and then I instantly want to just use it again. The Kuwabara response discard momentum is so rarely used, but if my opponent does have strong deadlock stuff, it is worth it. And it's just discard momentum as opposed to like discard momentum, remove or flip or whatever. So like being able to use it over and over and over again is very good. Up next, we're playing 4 Fusion Refusal. This card's really solid inside of the deck just because it has the playable while committed. Stack this up for +2 or -2 damage, and it combos really well with the power flip, which we will get into. And then my last card, I guess, dovetailing onto more combos, is Bastion Stance. So Bastion Stance is a card that says I have to talk about these 2 cards together just in case somebody hasn't seen it. So the way that the deck wants to work is I want to play a block, play my reversal, and then Bastion Stance says that I'll add it up to my card pool, and then you add one of your committed cards from your staging area to your card pool. And then with Power Flip, I then get to build them all back down into my staging area. So the way that the deck wants to work is I'll make my block happen. I'll have all of these cards that add up into the card pool. I'll add them all, and then I'll bring them all back down. So what that actually says is maybe I've committed these cards when it comes to responding with Kuwabara. Well, with Power Flip, they come back in, and then with Power Flip, they build back down ready. So I have ready foundations, as well as I have stuffed your card pool full 3 times. Adding +3 progressive difficulty is no joke. Is no joke. As well as stun 1 off of the Power Flip, Desperation Enhance, take any foundation that you want, probably something like the Dark Side of Karma, adding it into your card pool when you're at Desperation, which we want to be a Desperation, and then building them all down. It's like this card is just such utility inside of any Earth deck that this is like this combo, this little engine. I'll get it a little more center screen. This little engine is so useful in every single deck if you can figure out how to appropriately abuse Power Flip and these 7 cards. It's just worth it. Not to mention the way that Kuwabara works, I will block reversal, build all these up, build them back down, Kuwabara, add it back face down, and then on my opponent's next attack, I'll Kuwabara and lift it back to my hand, and then I'll do it again. And so this card just says that this card mixed with this small engine says that I'm essentially ripping my opponent's staging area apart. So it doesn't matter that I've got 12, 15 foundations. You've got 3 because I've added now 12 foundations on your turn. Ended. Onto the defense of the deck, we're playing double Haunted by Loss, Enhanced Destroy, Committed Foundation, -2 speed. Like I said, blocking is sometimes important. You got to block that one thing. And this character commits foundations for free. So on their first attack, I'll commit and put it back to printed. Maybe I do have to block this thing. I'll destroy one of the committed foundations, -2 speed. Onto the face down section of the deck. As we said, he wants to pick things up that are face down, and he builds them face down. So let's build a couple more. So we're playing 2, the Forbidden Technique. This card does 2 things. Number 1, when you block with, or when you play it, you ready a face down foundation, which we've probably done with whatever. So on block, we ready 1, so it essentially makes it a 1 mid block, or 1 high block, excuse me, and it's got breaker 1, as well as Enhance Flip. Add the top card of your deck to your staging area face down. Well, now I have 2 targets for Kuwabara to commit and work off of that good defense. We're playing, put you upside down, we're playing 4 I Have a Sword. This is how I get to play any of my loop stuff relatively early. So I've got Deflection Swing, I've got Kuwabara himself, and then 4 I Have a Sword. After I touch you, I'm going to pick something back up. Really solid with the Power Flip plays, just to keep doing it over and over again. We're playing double Folktale Storyteller to help us build out. The discarding the cards off the top of my deck is actually not what I want to do at all. I actually resent doing that just because I got to be able to get the things. I'd rather have them on top of my deck and then build them in with cards as opposed to pulling them down. And then still more defense. We're playing 4 Energy Absorption. After I take damage from an unblocked attack, I'm going to check a 4 and then gain that vitality back. Kuwabara says put it back to printed. There's some times where I would take and either damage reduce with this card or whatever, or it's a 2 damage attack, right? So I'll put it back to printed and then respond with 3 of these and actually gain 1 vitality off of your attack doing 2 damage. Very, very solid, just stretching out that 32 life as far as it can go. Playing double Second Saintly Beast. It's plus speed, it's minus speed, but more importantly, it's plus speed. Making sure that I can make my power flips hit. Make sure my missile launcher, I'll give +2 speed off of this and then give the 4 damage. So now it's a 5 low for 10 that you got to deal with. And then it'll build down and then we'll pick it back up and so on and so forth. We're playing double Sacrament of Blades. Excuse me. We're playing double Sacrament of Blades. This card only exists in the deck because the card Dark Chirito exists. The Dark Chirito just says that abilities can't be played to reduce the damage of my opponent's, of their attacks. So if they toss a Dark Chirito into their card pool, Kuwabara essentially loses. It's actually like the biggest silver bullet for this deck. But this card is the silver bullet for the silver bullet. Response discard momentum. After opponent plays an attack, seal one other card in their card pool. So the other thing that this card touches is it also hits something like reduction to quote unquote put me at Aspiration, which is not that bad of a thing just because I can pick something up. But I don't know. Maybe maybe giving all of my opponent's attacks +2/+2 is not what I need when I gotta block stuff. We're playing double Overly Dramatic just because it's just a really solid defensive card. And make sure that I get to push my plays through. It also cancels Kuwabara, surprisingly enough. And so like if it's good enough to stop me, then it's good enough to play against anybody else. We're playing triple Pursuing in Vendetta. I need to have my foundations. If I don't have foundations, then I don't have a defense. There's plenty of cards like Tagoro Brothers that I will play a good ability on my foundations. I'll attempt to cancel it, and then I will respond, and then cancel, or not cancel, but rebuild in that foundation that was destroyed, as well as have a face down that either I can pick back up with Kuwabara and slash, or I can just commit for the responsibility. Last bit of the deck, we're playing double Protecting the Protector. If Kuwabara gets banged, my main defensive option is kaputs, and so I got to make sure that whenever they attempt to seal one of my cards, it doesn't happen. Even if that means like hitting them with a throw and then not building, not deciding not to build it down, just making sure that I have guaranteed to have that momentum. Because like I said, bang just like ends my whole turn. My last two cards, we're playing one Castaway and Forgotten. Just flip, seal a thing, or destroy, seal it if it had 3 or less damage. We can do this on our stuff, but it doesn't feel great. We do have at least one with the Deflection Swing that's a 3 damage attack, but it just doesn't feel spectacular. And then one for Mother Russia. If they try and draw a card, commit it. They put it in their card pool. It's really, really effective with the power flip Bastion Stance plays of just, hey, put that in your card pool. Don't draw any more cards. All right, so that was my Kuwabara deck that I played under Earth for this week's Symbol Showdown Campus Championship. If you have any suggestions for some Campus Championships, or you want to talk about the Kuwabara deck, make sure you go out to patreon.com/TCGUniversity. Sub out there at the $1 level, get access to our Discord, and we'd love to have conversations, chats with you about it all day long. This deck did surprisingly better than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be a big, slow monstrosity, but it was killing people on turn 2, turn 3, and also killing people on turn 7. So it really it had the survivability as well as the burst speed that it needed in order to get the job done. So I would highly suggest checking it out. If you want to join us live, go to twitch.tv/TCGUniversity every Tuesday at 6 o'clock, and we record all these matches live. We talk to people in the chat. We get hyped. We get excited. We hear suggestions. We love talking to you. So from all of us here at TCG University, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.